Happy birthday.
Thanks, Gideon.
Okay.
Shall
Well,
we wait one more minute?
maybe we just get started, and as other people can join us, they will. I don't know. Definitely, Livia and Griff are not available today. Livia's on vacation. Griff is at Consensus. I don't know if Nate will be able to join us today. Shui, I haven't heard from. I haven't heard from anyone that wasn't able to join, but let's see if they start trickling in. Mitch, not sure either. Maybe we just get started, and as people join, we'll continue. And we could slow down because it just means with fewer people, there's less time to go around for the individual thoughts.
All right. Shall we start then with what went well? I will start the countdown and I will put it for 5 minutes rather than 4 minutes, just because we are maybe less people. So we'll have a little bit of extra time. And I will suggest on the one went well, to share a little bit extra today if you feel like, if there are things that went well for you. All right, timer start. Hello there, Guyan. We are silently filling the board that you are seeing on the screen. It's a retrospective call right now. So we are going through what went well, what could do better, and so on. So if you have any question or you want to engage, let me know.
Cool. Thanks, I do.
My pleasure.
I do. Where can I find a link to this board? It's hard to see it at the size on my screen.
On the Stewards channel, there's the agenda and the Miro link if you want to hop on. And you might have to request access, and I will approve it as soon as you do.
Awesome. Thanks, Dan.
No problem, my pleasure.
Thank you, Tim. About 1 minute left. Time's up. Gideon, would you like to read it?
Sure. Hold on just 1 second. Okay, so designers are ready to work on the ABC Advance page. Sample funding got good advice and is now up for vote. Jeff is interested in helping out with consulting intake service, tackling some difficult issues with Grace. Rex is killing it with the data standardization. Sampo has some hot discussion. I think we are close to generate first monetary value. Difficult but necessary discussions about what it does and what it should mean to be a steward of the TEC. Transparency funding passed. Stakeholder focus on Sampo's forum threads set in motion new thinking based on wider perspectives. Transparency passed so quickly. ZEP's the big 3-0 and ZEP is now legal. Omega working group page updated on Gitbook. Honestly, Sampo is doing so much right now. I joined my first Sampo call and felt quite impressed. That's nice. Burning TEC with 7K profits. Stewards, conversations, and understanding. Transparency passing. TE flower update started. Gravity is working on the webpage for, offering services and already talking with Sam for the launch of the bonding curve and gardens template. TEC invitation to participate on ETH Barcelona, restructuring of the stewards, gardens party people. Bear 100 did some great work on accounting process. Juan delaying his flight to stay in ETH Barcelona. Jeff involved with the TE projects funnel. This huge win for TEC and TE. Livia's vacation. Consilience library call was on fire. Good progress on message to token holders. Livia taking holidays will come back stronger. Griff is active everywhere. We are so lucky having him on the TEC.
Thank you, Gideon. Would you like to start also sharing your thoughts on what you just read and anything you would like to comment regarding what went well?
Yeah, sorry, I can't read and think at the same time for some reason.
Do you want to pass it on to someone?
Yeah, can I just pass and then just reflect? I'll pass it to Zeptimus.
Thanks, Gideon. Yeah, of course, getting this license is so cool. Now I can drive legally. And I'm so excited, the designers for the ABC page are ready to do work. I'm so excited for this work. And yeah, the experience I'm working with Rodri, actually, it's a very nice experience. And yeah, I'm also so happy, Rex is killing it with the data standardization. He really knows what he's doing and it's awesome. The coordination with him is so smooth. I love working with him. And yeah, transparency passing proposal. That's great. It was very smooth. And yeah, like I also typed this one, like grief is active everywhere. So grief is everywhere, like, and promoting not the TC and all the projects he's involved, but the TC, and it's so good, like, for us. So yeah, super cool. I'll pass it to Mert.
Thank you, Zepti. My reflection will be on the sample one. So I wrote the one. We are very close to generate our first revenue, I feel like. So I was reading the chat, even though I was not very actively involved. I think the starting of the treasury management strategies and like having service providers will be huge for TC, and I think it will be very soon. I feel like, so that's the positive thing I was seeing, and I would like to pass it on. Tam.
Yeah, I'll say from my perspective, I think that there was really a lot of difficult conversations and trying to evaluate what stewardship is and should be in the TEC. And so I think from my perspective, what went well is like, it's not solved, but I think that there's like, we have some deeper learnings about what we have created for as the stewardships working group, and what we would and some changes we would make if we were doing it again today, I would say. So I think that we maybe should take a little bit more time to sort that out. But it just feels like something was unblocked and learned, and so I really appreciated. That was the thing I appreciated the most of this last sprint. That there is like some real deep thinking about stewards and what stewardship can be in the TEC. And I'll pass to Guyan.
Thanks, Tam. I'd love to talk to you more about that too, especially with the article that I'm working on related to your talk. Because yeah, it's an active question in my mind as well. And I'm just having seen the first sprint retrospective I've got a chance to see, and I'm just feeling excited about how much is here and how much work is being done and how much is processing and the efficient use of this board. So yeah, just stoked to be a part of it and excited to learn more about the working process here. And I'll pass it to Gideon if you feel ready for it.
There you go. Thank you, Kaya.
Yeah, thanks, Guy. Yeah, I feel like the big thing for me right now is, well, it's two things. One, it feels like there are these difficult conversations that have been, or let me say, difficult issues that have been kind of they've been lying underneath the covers for a while. People have been feeling them maybe subconsciously or consciously, and now they're coming out, right? And some of them may be kind of emotional. Some, there's going to be lots of different opinions about how to tackle these things, but like we've started the process now of unpacking these things, and I think that's really healthy. And we're putting in place some processes and ways of thinking about it. So I'm really happy about that. I'm also happy like things are moving on sample front right now. Like I feel like we're starting to, like the last call we had like an infusion of new people into the call that was really exciting. It's like, oh wow, this is starting to take off. So I feel very optimistic. This is going to be a difficult time, but I feel optimistic about our chances. Mitch, can I pass to you?
Yeah, sure. Wow, what went well? Great question. Well, I think most of us are handling well the tough discussion about cutting some paid stewards role. So I'm glad that that's not causing the community to implode, at least from my perspective. Proposal inverter UX is looking pretty solid, and we're managing to fend off new features and finally have like a final MVP to start developing. And The reward system is getting super close to version 1. And so that's really good news as well. And I'll leave it at that, actually, and I will pass it to Mert.
Thank you, Mitch, but I already gone. Maybe I can pass it on Gayan.
He already went to. I am the last
Oh,
person to go.
sorry, Edo.
No worries. No worries. It's all good. So I really like this these conversations that we're having in the Stewards channel and sample forum posts, and it's this sometimes tough times gets the worst of people, but it's also nice to see that it didn't get the worst of us. I didn't see insults going forwards. I didn't see like people leaving or rage quitting. So I feel it's a nice testament of all the culture that we have built, and that we have the capacity to have these conversations. And even if they are tough, even if they take time, even if they are awkward, it's sort of nice. I like also the process of the stewards, because I feel we should give some example of these tough conversations, and the stewards is a nice place to start doing so. All right, that will be all from my side. So shall we pass to the next? Could do better. So 5 minutes. I will start the countdown now. 1 minute left. Time's up. Cam, would you like to read it for us?
Yes, absolutely. So being more direct with tough conversations, i.e. cutting stewards, working groups that are unproductive, analyzing and improving quality of quantifications, creating time to reply to forum posts. Find this very challenging to carve time in the day to do this. We should document our processes better, more like a TEC diary. Ha ha ha. Finding ways to more proactively incorporate token holder input. Handle our treasury looks like a tough topic regarding how to do it. Seems we are missing expertise in treasury management. Should this become a priority? Having more reality checks in place. Finding ways to make tough judgment calls about where to invest. No engage in the rewards thread. Too many people with ideas. Still pulling together the many threads of advice process about steward working group evolution. I feel like most stewards have heard it all in our meetings already, but it continues to evolve and change shape with new perspectives. If we realize the things that we should have done better, that should have been done sooner, let's have a conversation about what we could do better in advance. Tough conversations feels like a great opportunity for gravity. Still not fully come to grips with how long it will take to start earning substantial income. Rewards still doesn't feel like it nails it with respect to reflecting community contributions, but it's going to take time to get it right. Back
Thank
to
you,
you.
Tam. Thank you. Mitch, would you like to comment? Start the comments and pass it on afterwards.
Yeah, sure. So, kind of going back to, I think it was the last one that was said, just like making praise or rewards better. And it's, for me, it's a lack of bandwidth to like be able to actually go into like the work that's done and like suggest improvements, because there's like hundreds, sometimes thousands of like actual quantifications that are done, and like I don't have the time to go through and like analyze it, like, and it would be cool if someone could, or there was a better way to do it, because it's like just kind of running on autopilot, and like it's going to take a lot of bandwidth to actually like look at it and make improvements, data-driven improvements. I'll leave it at there. I don't want to take up too much time with my comments, and I'll pass it to Gideon.
Thanks, Mitch. So for me right now, I feel like this whole question of spending and that's the one that I'm struggling with. I feel like we still haven't nailed this, and I fully appreciate the differences of opinion. Like we have differences of opinion in this community about the best way to do it. You know, some being more like, hey, hands-on, more like policy kind of thing, and some more just let conviction voting do the trick. And I do think we got some consensus that conviction voting is the way to do it, but it still feels like we haven't fully embraced the reality that, man, it's going to take a long time for us to get serious income coming into this place. I mean, we'll get drips and drabs, or drips and dribbles, or whatever you call it, starting to show up over the next few months, but real, big income is going to be a while. So I just think that I think we're kind of ducking this issue about figuring out where the greatest investments of our scarce resources really need to go over the next 6 to 9 months. I will pass to Edu.
Thank you. Yeah, I feel like there is a natural reactive nature in the TEC that I would like to sort of try to be more previsive. Previsive, is that a word in English? Previsible. It's like you sort of foreseeing a little bit more what's not gonna happen, but like say what?
Proactive. It's kind of the same.
Not yet, but something similar, which is this like just being more not so reactive. Like I feel like we all tend to react when something happens rather than just like have some general idea of what could be the scenarios that will come forward. And I feel we are short on that, and this has happened in micro cases. For example, I don't know, I just remember the case of having the template for the proposals being sitting there for a month and there was no change until a proposal actually came and said like, hey, this is updated, and we sort of changed it and updated. And this also happens with the budget stuff. We are, I mean, someone should have thought that this will happen at some point. So why are we being so reactive rather than, more present on and more thinking on the future? In a practical way, not on a metaphorical, abstract thing. So for me, that's something that it's on my mind, because I feel we are one of the, if I would think about it, one of the only flaws that we have as a system is this, that we are a reactive system, and we have a great elasticity, we have a great capacity to adapt and so on. But I would like more prevision about the future in our organization and less reactivity. With that being said, I will pass it on to Tam.
Since I went right after you, I'm just going to respond to that too. I actually think that this isn't something that took us by surprise. This is something we've been talking about consistently. It's just what we're missing is the resources. Exactly what Mitch just said too, right? Yeah, we know exactly what needs to be done, but who is the person who can now do that piece of work? So what I wouldn't say that we're not reactive. I think we know exactly what needs to be done, but sometimes don't have the resources to do those. And maybe we should be actually focusing our priority and our resources on the highest priority things, rather than just whatever, rather than like maybe as the stewards, we should be focused on what is the most important things that we need to do, and then just focus on that, and maybe let other things go that aren't going to have as big an impact. So yeah, that's what I guess I want to say. And then for me, it's sort of like, I agree with Gideon. Like, it's going to take us a really long time to be, revenue positive, to have any revenue, so I think that what we spend on matters so much right now, and that not just making smaller proposals that pass. It doesn't matter if a small proposal passes or not. It's not good if we're spending a small amount of money on the wrong thing. We can spend a lot of small sums on the wrong thing, and that's just as bad as having one big proposal for the wrong thing. I think we just need to be extremely strategic on what we want to achieve, and then what spending will actually get us there. I'm going to pass. Mert.
Yeah, my thoughts are actually very aligned with what you said. I was going to write, maybe we need to hire directly somebody who has experience in treasury management, or process design for TE intakes, etc. Then you wrote, we are missing kind of expertise for treasury management. What I feel like, for example, we were discussing in sample those things, but those things require like lots of experience and time. for example, like I know people who are working in treasury management kind of thing, Mike DeMello or others in LTF, they've been like very into it and like they're degenning all the time. So it will be hard to do it maybe in-house. Maybe we can find somebody. It will be nice. So about the spending, as you said, maybe, for example, spending for a good treasury manager will be kind of best decision. Now it may take like chunk of money, but it may improve the financial health. Then we can spend other things that's quote unquote maybe less crucial now. So my thoughts are on those stage. Like maybe we can try to think about like direct hire. Maybe it's not the best word, but that's general what I thought. And I would like to pass it on. Whom?
Zepti.
Zepti? Yeah, Zepti, sorry.
Thank you. Yeah, first of all, I actually want to apologize with Gideon. Yesterday, YGG make a forum post on the sample, and maybe like you don't take it as a wrong thing. Like, and then I was commenting like transparency, were asking less money, and it was like you are asking too much money. It was not the intention at all. So I just deleted the post. Yeah, just so you know. All cool. Yeah, I expected all was cool, but yeah, just wanted to say it anyway. And then treasury manager. Like I don't think like a person it's with a salary. It's like a good treasury manager. Like if someone is good with money, they don't need a salary. Like they just do it for themselves, and that's it. I think like it should keep like and no one knows what's the would you like Warren Buffett using our money? I personally don't. So I think that's something like we should reach like we manage everyone's personal finances. Like everyone have like their own strategies and their own stuff. And I think like we should gather like the collective intelligence and put there something. And I think like this should keep in a decentralized way. I don't think like someone should like take our money and do like casino with it. I really don't think it's the way. And the other topic I wanted to talk is like, yeah, the reward thread. I'm so sad like there is not a big discussion there, but I understand like there's money discussions everywhere, and I agree with Mitch, like we cannot keep up with everything. But yeah, it makes me sad like we are not putting more resources in the reward system, which is one of our primary tools. And yeah, I'll pass it to Gaia.
Thanks, Septi. I'm not positive that I'm fully understanding the context, so forgive me if I say it seems a little off base. But what I imagine in terms of treasury management is not so much how money is being spent in the organization, but just like what currencies things are being held in relative to the volatility of the crypto system. Does someone want to correct me if I'm wrong on that point before I continue? Okay, cool. Go ahead, Tam.
I think it's really like, what are we investing? Like if we have a pool of funds, how are we investing it? And how are we making sure that we're actually, the money's working for us, right? That we're getting returns and that there's somebody on top of making sure we're entering and exit in the right places.
And that's not just like operational decisions about how it's being spent in the TEC. That's
correct. Correct. So it's like there's a large pot of basically stablecoin just sitting doing nothing.
Gotcha.
What could we do with that in order to actually have some yield? Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I feel like Zepti's call for tapping into collective intelligence around this is really good. I think it's a huge learning opportunity, and also people that have knowledge around that, like creating something with a collective intelligence of people being like, yes, this is a good time to buy, just like the macro swings of the obvious blue chip stablecoins is definitely something that could be better done by a group of people. So I'm all for that idea. And that's it. I don't have enough context to comment on anything else.
No worries, Gaia. Before passing on to Septimus, welcome Quantum 369. This is a retrospective call. The board that you are seeing on the screen is being shared on the Stuart text channel. So in case you want to hop in and take a look, we were just talking about what we could do better in our organization in the past sprint. So if you have any thoughts, I will after Septimus, pass it up to you if you want to comment on anything. Septi.
Yeah, thank you. There's one other topic I wanted to add something, and since we have time, I think I can do it. And it's this first post is of being more direct with the conversation. No, well, basically, like, what's productive, what's unproductive. Like, for example, like you could say, like, is Gravity productive? Well, I think overall, like, yes, but at the same time, like, Gravity, in my opinion, is funding things like are not, book club. Should we fund a book club? I mean, I don't know, like I'm very skeptical with some kind, like we're funding in Gravity. I'm also taking some action there since I'm the treasury manager, talking with one. But yeah, I mean, and I'm talking about Gravity because it's, Gravity Transparency is what I know more where we are using the money. But then it's like, for example, like comms. I don't think like comms, it's like something we should put it all. I mean, I have no idea what, with that they're doing with the money, but I'm pretty sure, like, some, like, 20K, 24, like, comes actually asking for a lot of money with all the proposals together. And it's like, it's everything useless? Probably not. Probably there's something, like, it's good, something done. So we should focus on, more on, it's not like a working group proposal, like it's good or bad. It's like things that are funding in there. Like, we should be careful. And back to you, Edu.
Thank you, Septi. Quantum, do you have something you would like to comment?
No, not really. I will listen and see what's going on. I have not been here a long time.
No problem, Quantum. All right. Yes, Mert.
Like, I'm not really sure, but I had some answer that Zepti did give feedback to my thoughts. Should I talk now or maybe afterwards?
I can give you 1 minute.
Okay, so yeah, like I totally understand Zepti's position that maybe through collective intelligence we can govern the funds. Yes, I agree, but sometimes the thing we very famously call like the legitimate authority, we can delegate some authority as well. Like, for example, if I have lots of money and I wouldn't like, instead of giving a DAO member to treasury management role, if a DAO member try to like will convince that he can do it, I think I would transfer my authority to that member. So yes, like if there's a Warren Buffett in our DAO that can produce better health for anybody else, I would like happily actually delegate some of my authority. But this doesn't mean that this person can do whatever they want with the money and doing like casino thing. But maybe we can create a council, treasury council, that can create checks and balances. But what I mean is that this is a very specific job that requires lots of energy and expertise. I think it will be hard to create like collective governance of funds in terms of treasury managing. Like, I cannot imagine somebody say, okay, this is time to enter, collectively decide in crypto market, or not, let's short now, or it's just sound too specific. Maybe my imagination is not there yet, but that's just what I thought.
Thank you, Mert. All right.
Hey, Edu,
yes.
can I just have 30 seconds for this?
Yes. Just before you
Yeah.
before you start, for people to start writing down on actions to improve. In the meantime, Gideon's response.
Yeah,
Go
sure.
ahead.
Very quick. So this whole question of the treasury, we're actually going to pull together a proposal. So people will have in Sampo, there will be space for people to actually debate and have conversations about how we tackle this whole question of the treasury. It'll just probably be a few weeks before we get to that. And Mert, I've added your name into the list of people. Hopefully you're okay with that.
Right. 5 minutes and actions to improve. 1 minute left. Time's up. All right, Guyan, I love your voice. Would you like to read for us? And in the meantime, can you guys pick with one of the stars and choose which of these actions are the ones that you consider will be the action to improve?
Sure, yeah, I can read it off. Be more critical with budget proposals, with the budget of proposals, rather. Don't vote for anything that does not bring immediate value to TEC. Vote for Sampo right now. There's a link. Reach out back to Angela's idea of VC value aligned funding. Process for thinking about longer term and our funds and investments. Osmotic funding +1, but is it production ready? I think that was a response to the initial comment. And then there's a little note next to that that says, we should fund its development. Oh, Damien, do you mind moving your cursor? I'll just move this. We should fund its development first. Gitcoin will take the time to recognize for it, probably. And there's a little tongue sticking out person. One person accountable for investment decisions relies on collective wisdom, but is the one to make proposals. Wider treasury conversation with the community. Make a list of priorities, critical work on the TEC. We have to find someone who has solved similar situations and hire if necessary. It's the community decision whether to do it or not. More rewards, more working group support. Tamara should definitely share in writings where we are the stewards in the stewards evolution discussions written by me. I'm not sure who me is referring to. I guess maybe Tamara. Yeah, that makes sense. We need more visibility, not enough sharing about things that are value driven in the TEC. Onboarding, ABC dashboard, praise. Clearly defined TEC membership and recognize it. Feature freeze, ruthlessly cut scope. Let's get clear about the priorities for the TEC today, then only fund those. What comes after Sampo? Recognize the basics of treasury management is a responsibility that can be distributed for greater trust and effectiveness. Better comms on the TEC world should know the list of Livy on the last steward call. More support for TEC Twitter. Need to grow our network! ! Begin tapping a wider set of advisors. And that's it.
Thank you so much, Ryan. So we have 7 minutes left, so 1 minute each of us. And if you can pick in the meantime and place a star, only one star on only one of the stickers. So please do so. And for the rest of the 7 minutes that we have left, Gideon, would you like to share which one do you think is your action to improve?
Well, that's probably not a surprise. I feel like getting the Sampo funding proposal passed ASAP is top priority. I'll pass it to Zeptimus.
Thank you, Gideon. I have hard standing like don't vote for anything that does not bring immediate value to the TC. Like, it's hard to find value on the TC. I also agree, like, yeah, of course, like Sampo needs to pass. I was already voting there. And yeah, I don't know, like I would love like more support in the rewards. Like I think like this is a core product of the, well, TC, General Magic, Common Stack, and it's like a thing like and it's because like we are having problems like funding stuff in the TC, and if we had a good reward system working as intended, we should not have this problem. And then the budget is also more easy to control. Like you can just control like the main budget on operations, and then all of those are going through rewards. That would be like the ideal scenario. But yeah, right now it's not happening because the reward system is not ready, which limit us. I'll pass it to Mitch.
Thanks, Ep. Yeah, I think maybe just being more honest and direct with people, I think would go a long way. Like, I think there's the tough conversations that we kind of everybody was realizing, but nobody talked about it because we felt like we had abundance. So like the excessive amount of stewards that are getting money, and the excessive amount of working groups that are being created that want funding, how much funding we're giving to the working groups, and like what are they actually working on? Like, are they producing things that we think that are worth the money? And those are really hard things to talk about, but now we're realizing that we have to do them in order to like make a budget that makes sense. So I will pass it to Tam.
And Tam, you will be the last one. There you go.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna say I think I think it's clear on the board, and I also happen to be aligned with what's on the board. I think making a list of the critical pieces of work in the TEC and then laser focus on those, and not focusing on anything else. Hey, Quantum, do you mind muting?
Wait,
That's right. Okay. And then I'd say I think Sampo is critical to TEC. And I think that it's critical to the survival of TEC and to the health of TEC and to sort of like an abundance in TEC. And I think that for me, it's sort of like laser focus on getting some of these initiatives off the ground, because it is going to take time. It's going to take months, So the sooner we get started, I think the sooner we'll see results.
There you go. Go ahead, Tam.
Now, is it time?
It is the time. You lead.
Okay, so Septimus turned 30 today, and we have a really fun tradition in the TEC is to sing perfectly in harmony at the same time remotely. So if everyone can join us in a happy birthday to you to Septimus, I'm sure he would not be embarrassed at all.
You want to give us the starting pitch?
Okay. All right. Ready? Happy birthday to you.
Happy
birthday
to you.
Happy birthday,
dear
Septimus.
Happy birthday to you.
Oh yeah, thank you. Thank you, guys. It was
All right.
coordinated.
Mert, you wanted the voice. You have 1 minute. Go ahead. You wanted to say something, Mert? Or you are frozen, Mert? Oh, Mert, you're frozen. Yeah, damn it. All right. It seems that the action to improve is quite clear here. We have a winner, and I wrote that, so that's I love that. So thank you so much, everyone, for today. It was fun, and I will see you in 2 weeks or an orientation call if you stay. Bye bye. Take care, everyone.
Thank you for facilitating, Edu.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Eduardo.
everyone.
You did such a great job.
Vote for
Excellent.
Sampo. If you